to start with a quote, and it goes like this. We must rapidly begin the shift from a thing-oriented society to a person-oriented society. When machines and computers, profit motives, and property rights are considered more important than people, the giant triplets of racism, materialism, and militarism are incapable of being conquered. That was a quote from Martin Luther King so many years ago. And what's amazing is that what he said, I think when you flip that around, is the only way that we can address the problems of racism, materialism, corporatism, right, are if we come together and we stand together as people and we say, no, corporations, you're not the same as human beings, right? And we say to Alec, no, you don't have the right to come into our states and write our laws on behalf of corporations, pretending like you're not a lobbyist, right? Koch brothers, you don't get to fund so-called grassroots groups to come into California and disrupt our elections by trying to screen out Latinos and other minorities and young people and block them from voting. And you don't get to pass voter ID laws throughout the country to try to change our democracy and upturn it so that the people don't have a true vote. Right? You don't get to buy the elections. And when all of our voices come together, we can do great things, amazing things. And I think Martin Luther King's quote really was an inspiration to say, when we come together and we go back to that idea of being a person-oriented society and not a thing-oriented society, our country will truly have realized what it means to be a democracy. Okay, that wasn't written down. I'll go back. So you know the history of Citizens United, you know, bad election, bad decision. It's crazy because it essentially follows 100 years of precedent and then says, goodbye, Supreme Court, forget about the fact that all of these years we've always said that citizen speech, human beings, flesh and blood, when I cut myself, I bleed speech, right? That is the speech that we protect. All of a sudden, we have a new Supreme Court that comes in and says, by a slim margin of 5-4, right, that building on some other obscure parts of law, money equals speech, corporation speech is protected, and therefore, we as the people, we can't pass laws now, because of Citizens United, we can't pass laws to regulate corporate spending. And we've seen in 2012 what that means, right? Millions and millions of dollars flooding into elections, trying to essentially buy the election, right? We saw in California some dark money coming from out of state, trying to influence our ballot initiative process, trying to buy speech, trying to stay out of the public's eye by channeling those $11 million through so-called nonprofits to stay out of the public's eye. But the good news is, just like corporations are a human-constructed fiction, human beings also write the laws, and we can also rewrite our Constitution. Right, and so today we're here to talk about what's possible. And my good colleague Trent Lang will talk about the Disclose Act, and other people will talk about laws that are up for decision. One of the big things that Common Cause has been working on is amending the Constitution. And I realize that's crazy talk. You know, every time I think about it, I think, oh my God, when was the last time we amended the Constitution? How is that possible, right? But it's possibly because all of these things were just created by us. It's just created by human beings. And once you break that down and you go at it city by city, state by state, and eventually the whole country, we can do it, right? Here's the amazing thing. Here's the amazing thing. Common Cause, our guy up in Sacramento, Derek Cressman, had this crazy idea. He said, why don't we try it? We'll just try it. And we'll just pick 2 states. And he went into Montana and Colorado. And I have no idea why he chose those 2 states, because that didn't seem to me like the most obvious, easiest states to approach. But he said, you know what? If Coloradans and Montanans will stand up for the right of people in and money out, right? Then we send a message to everybody that it's possible anywhere, right? And here's the crazy thing. In Montana and in Colorado, they passed ballot initiatives that instructed their congresspeople to overturn Citizens United, not by 51%, not by 55%, but by over 75%, right? That is huge. That's huge. So, what are we going to do in Los Angeles? This should be easy peasy, right? City Council's considering to put an initiative onto the May ballot, right, that would do the same thing, instruct our congressional members to overturn Citizens United by passing a constitutional amendment. That should be easy for us Angelenos, right? And we can do this everywhere. You can go to your local city council member, tell them this is something that I really care about. Let the people's voices be heard. Let us, our voices, stand out above those that are bought, right? And I think step by step, whether it's Los Angeles or San Jose, San Diego just passed a resolution like this. San Diego, okay? San Francisco, Richmond, Oakland. Soon it will be all of California. And when a state that has almost 40% of the entire country's population says no to Citizens United, pass a new constitutional amendment, we're already halfway there. So this is possible, and I totally support clean by 16. That's possible, maybe even 15. So let me ask you a couple of questions. Will you vote to overturn Citizens United? Yes. And can we amend the Constitution if we stand together? Yes. And can we build a democracy that is based on of the people, by the people, and for the people? Yes. Thank you. Let's work together and make it happen.